everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Hey Kruger, how you doing? Can you guys hear me alright? Awesome. So yeah, this is the first game, at least that I know of, for single elims for the Invader League. We got Doc, Velo, Paul playing Republic. He's rocking Obi-Wan with Force Push, Force Reflexes, Rex with Recon Intel and Offensive Push. He's got 2 Z6 phase 2s with push, and then 2 more with Overwatch, 2 sniper strike teams, and R2D2. Hey, what's up, Karma? Little quiet. How's that, Jace? Is that better? Awesome. Alright, and then he's playing OntoTheTable, otherwise known as Less, playing Separatists. He's got Dooku with reflexes, battle meditation, and aggressive tactics. That looks like it's a pretty good card on Dooku, allowing the orders that, or the command cards that order to Dooku to order to his droids instead. He's got one full squad of BX droids with the Vibro Sword and the Sniper, and then 2 strike teams with the Sniper. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 naked B1 droid units, and the AAT battle tank with high energy shells. And as you guys can see, they're playing major offensive, intercept the transmissions, and supply drop. Doc is deploying over here near this comms tower, and Les is deploying over here near this bunker. We got a couple of ARCs who have scouted up near this supply objective. This will probably be a close game if Les can control the bridge, and or if Doc can score secret mission. This right here looks a little unorthodox, deploying his clones so far apart. But Doc went 5-0 in his bracket, so what do I know? Take a look at these command hands. The Separatist one is pretty predictable since he only has Dooku as a commander. Just all Dooku's cards and then the 3 generics. And then I'm sure this one, yeah. So all of Obi and Rex's cards, he's not running Blast Off. So we got a BX sniper unit deploying on the close side of the board, and he's scouting up to grab the supply drop at the start of that unit's activation. That's where that Scout 3 is quite better than the Scout 2. Krugar saying you gotta give him orders turn 1. Yeah. They'll be in heavy cover. And it looks like he's got pretty good range. So unless he does a pretty aggressive scout move and plays take that clankers, I think these droids are safe for at least the first turn. Since Doc's arcs are deployed in a way where I don't think that they're going to be able to shoot them. He probably notices that this, near this comms tower, is probably going to be the weaker flank for the Republic player, since he's deploying all of his core units near the shoreline. I bet he figures if he can take out 1 or 2 arc models, it'll be much easier for him to pincer in and weaken the core. Karma, if nobody grabs your game on Thursday, I think I want to stream it. I'm interested to see how you and your opponent's lists play out against each other. So we got, let's see, so the blue and the green phase 2 units are his offensive push groups, and then the red and this purple unit have Overwatch. Yeah, Karma, you have a lot of range 4 in your list. And if I remember correctly, you're playing someone with little to no range 4, so I'm sure if you control that engagement, you can whittle his list down pretty good at the first or second turn. I feel like I would have liked to see him deploy his tank near his objective, so that way he's not just putting it closer to those ARC troopers to whittle away at. Oh, only 2 snipers, Karma? Man, your coordinated bombardment's gonna mess those guys up. I was pretty depressed when you took out one of my arc strike teams during our game, like before I could even move with it. Hopefully those tauntauns don't mess you up though. So we got another BX sniper unit deploying up here on this hill, scouting up to get some nice sniper shots at this jumble of clones. Really hope he stays in range to get some orders, that way he's not wasting that lethal keyword. Krugar, do you think one of these named players is going to win this Invader League, or do you think it's going to be someone who is unranked? Because I think last I heard it was like a almost 50-50 split between ranked and unranked players making single eliminations. I'm gonna throw a little poll up. You guys can vote for who you think who you guys think is gonna win, just by typing in the chat. I think this will be an interesting game. My Inner Republic player wants the Republic to win, and my bracket wants the Republic to win. But if dice go a little bit on the Separatist side, this AAT can do a lot of damage, and I bet Dooku, once he gets in there, is going to destroy these troopers. I'm kind of worried for Doc. It looks like there's a little less cover on the side of the board he's deploying his core units. Unless he wants to scout up behind this rock formation. That's what I would probably do with how he's deploying. Except he's got his leaders back here, so I don't think he would make that. It's kind of interesting how he cohered his units. Cohering them so that way they're closer to the Separatists. True, but if you play Dooku's 1 pip, then there's not going to be any standbys on the Republic side of the board for him to use before you get in there. Wow, and he's deploying Kenobi way over here, completely outside of Guardian range of anybody. Yeah, on paper I was rooting for Republic, but I gotta be honest, after seeing this deployment, I think it's going to be hard pressed for the Republic to be looking pretty good after the second or third round. And I think supply drop is just so good with these BX droids with their Scout 3. Not wasting any time picking up those drops. Yeah, Scout 3 is really good. It almost makes me want to put recon intel on my arc units. Or play advanced positions. So for any people just joining, there's a poll in the bottom right corner of the screen. You can go ahead and cast your vote by typing in the chat for who you think is going to win this match. Yeah, advanced positions with Rex, especially now that we have arcs in the game, you could have 6 of your units having Scout 3. It's pretty awesome. I'm really curious about this Obi-Wan deployment. I wonder if he's going to escort R2-D2 to his secret mission. Pilot Paul, you'd know better than any of us. He's your brother. I honestly don't know his list. I don't think they released round robin lists for everybody to see. Yeah, well, it's only turn 1. He can maybe at the end of this next round, when it goes to round 2, he can put some of these arcs on that objective. Because intercept is scoring on turns 2, 4, and 6. I mean, if I'm Doc, I'm not entirely worried about this objective as far as deployment's concerned. He's got these ARC troopers who can hold it down if they need to. I'm kind of worried about R2-D2 as well with these BX droids. If they can get in a spot where they can just last first him, have him clear his suppression, and then shoot him again, that could hurt. Yeah, that tank could be bad for R2D2 as well if that tank just sits there and parks and blasts anybody who comes near this bridge. And I believe intercept is just trooper units, so that tank isn't gonna help. Yeah, just troopers. With that tank providing cover and just the sheer models on the board for the separatists, I think that it's looking like Republic's fighting the uphill battle for this bridge, because I think he's going to have a hard time scoring secret mission with this deployment. Yeah. So Rex scouted up behind this cargo container, and then he brought his offensive push units up with him. I wonder if he's feinting with Obi-Wan, try and get Les to be a bit more aggressive than he normally would be, and then just double move into Guardian range. And we got the Dooku deployment. Let's see where he puts him. Probably checking all these line of sight corridors for these snipers. Doesn't want to deploy Dooku in a spot where he can take 2 wounds or 3 wounds before he does anything. It's probably pretty safe there. It's well out of range of these arc snipers. Looks like Dooku's going to take this route up to these rock formations. He's got a lot of line of sight cover from these clones. This looks like the last unit getting deployed, so should have command cards dropping pretty soon and some action going. So it looks like he's taking battle meditation over any HQ uplinks. So that should save him some action efficiency with not having to recover every round. Alright, so the clock has started and command cards are going down. So we gotta take that clankers versus standing orders. I'm sure he's gonna give his 2 orders to these offensive push units of phase 2s. And hopefully Doc remembers reliable, because I don't see any surge tokens on these clones. It's one hard thing to remember about those guys. Always gotta put your surge tokens down. Kruger says that he is gonna need orders for this battle meditation. True, but if you can order almost all of your units, then having just Dooku and possibly 1 BX droid in the stack isn't that terrible. So he is moving up with this blue phase 2 unit. It looks like he's opting to skip past that supply drop for possibly a better shot on that. I wonder if he's going for that BX unit. Probably not with how he's cohering. And that's an interesting... Oh, okay. I forgot that he doesn't have coordinate on his AAT. So he gave his standing order to a BX or a B1 and then chained it down to this sniper team. Yeah, that is true. Go for Dooku. Yep, that's what he's doing. So he triggered his offensive push so he can use the take that clankers, pushing that shot out to range 4. And then Rex has an aim token for him to steal if he needs to. Oh, there he is, remembering reliable. It's a decent-ish roll. He's got a crit and 2 hits. Rerolling a black and a white, gets a 2nd crit. Looks like he's going to spend aim token off of Rex and gets a 3rd crit. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. He's going to spend some surge tokens, make that up to 7. And I'm pretty sure Dooku has no cover, so he's going to roll 7 saves. Man, that would absolutely hurt to put Dooku. Even if Dooku takes 2 wounds, this doesn't feel very good at all. That's so he's taken 3. That's half of Dooku's health. And the first turn of the first round. That's pretty spicy right there. Paper towel asking if you need to spend name to get to range 4. No. So we can take a look at take that clankers for you. So you just need to have a face-up order token and a name token. It's not like a Cassian's pistol where you need to spend it. Yeah, that card is amazing, especially on Rex, pushing those blaster pistols out to range 3, or the full arc units. So he's taking a sniper shot at these phase 2s. So he played Dooku out in the open and he measured range thinking that he couldn't get shot. I don't know if he didn't expect the take that clankers shot or what. So these PX droids are just going to spend that aim for a pierce and take out Clone Trooper. So that'll be one less black die coming in on Dooku if he activates with them next. Looks like he's not, which is probably smart. It allows him to stack some more aim tokens over here, especially with all the orders that are in Les's stack. There's a very low chance he's going to pull Dooku to get out of that range. So this Overwatch unit's going to move up, most likely take an aim, or possibly a standby if these B1s decide to come up and fight. But I'm sure they take an aim, so that way this shot on Dooku again is more potent. Yeah, those 3 wounds on Dooku is definitely putting the Separatist player probably a bit on tilt, and he's now playing with a half-strength commander. So Les goes to the stack. I'm sure he's praying to pull Dooku, but he's pulling a core unit. And yeah, I was right. These guys grabbed a name token. Just going with this white B1 unit. Probably trying to move up and put some pressure on these phase 2s. So it looks like he's going to double move up to the supply drop. Pretty advantageous spot to put some cover on this middle objective. Stretching that cohesion out, possibly, so he can send an order chain to these commandos if he's not going to move with them. Spirit of Fire saying that you always got to play with your key pieces, expecting them to get shot. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to think about it. I've only played one game with Dooku, and that was one of my, I think that was my second game I ever played. And I just blindly charged him up. He did a bunch of damage, then he died. Kind of seems like how Dooku usually plays out, though. Does a lot of damage on like turn 4 and 5 and is probably dead by round 6. Okay. Pulls a Bacta. That's pretty good. I'm sure he's going to waste that right away. Oh no, never mind. That's on the ARC Troopers. Did he not? No, he didn't pull a supply off that on the B1s. Well, that ARC Trooper unit potentially has 3 health now if he doesn't get wiped. Alright, so he's going to take some shots on this B1 unit. Looks like he's just going to aim and shoot. Man, it kind of feels bad wasting these arc shots on such low point units. So that's 2 hits. I'm sure he's spending aim on lethal since these guys are out in the open. Unless they said that that was heavy cover. Because he didn't roll dice. That looks like an open shot to me, but you know, whatever they said. Awesome. Alright, so he pulls Dooku. I'm sure he's going to try and get him out of dodge. So he rallies. Removes the suppression. Not quite sure if that's a reflexes or a dodge action. I would probably just reflexes and then get out of line of sight if I could, because he's still well in the open to get shot. So yeah, that was a reflexes for a dodge, and then he's double moving behind cover. Kind of worried for less that I still think this unit could aggro out for a shot if he really wanted to. I think that speed 2 move is probably better. That most likely puts him out of command range of this B1 unit. If they take another shot, then panic is in the equation. So Kenobi jumps down and then is taking a second to move action to get up into guardian range of all of his core units. And then taking a reflexes dodge. Start activating that Suresu Mastery if Les decides to shoot at him again. Got this green B1 unit moving up. Looks like we got a Rex taking a aim and a standby. Unfortunately, his Overwatch units are farther away than his offensive push, so I'm sure Les doesn't actually have much to worry about for the standby shenanigans this round. He can still move up and take shots without having him shoot back for free. Got these BX snipers taking their AI move. He's got range and line of sight. On this offensive push green squad. Yep, he's going to take the shot. That's going to be heavy cover down to light with sharpshooter 1. It's going to be 2 red dice. 1 crit. Okay, so that cannot be guardianed. So that's good for Les. And he's going to dodge it. So that's just the second suppression on that unit. Which could be good for Les again. Not being able to potentially move shoot if he remains suppressed. Because that is his second unit with a face-up order. Which he's using for take that clankers. He's drawing his second arc unit. May try and move up and grab this supply drop if he can, while still maintaining a shot. So no, he's just gonna scoot a little bit, get that tactical aim. Doesn't have range right now. I'm curious what he's trying to shoot at. Alright, there he goes. Moves up into range of this B1 unit. Which should be light cover. Oh no, droids don't take cover from suppression. Pretty sure that should be an open shot on that unit. And then there's gonna be 3 aims for him to pick from, so this should be potentially 2 dead models. And hopefully an important second suppression, because I don't know how good my eyes are, but I feel like that's out of command range of Dooku, which could be a pretty fatal blow if he makes those droids panic. So rolls 1 hit, he's going to spend 1 aim token to reroll that black die. Still a blank. Rerolls again for 2 hits, and then I'm sure he spends a 3rd aim for lethal. And that's 2 models gone. Les pulls his stabby boys out of the stack. He's got a full squad of VXs with their vibro sword and a sniper behind these crates full of kyber crystals. He's going to take his AI move action. May potentially be going for a range 3 shot on these clones. It seems like a bit of an aggressive play if he's going for that. I'm still curious why he didn't grab that supply drop. Maybe he realizes it's there and he's just ignoring the supply drop. I wonder if he knows that it's a free action. That could be huge. That could have been an arc welder, that could have been a field scanner. So he is choosing to scale up this container. I don't think you can see Rex. He might have been trying to shoot at that green unit though. Yeah. So he's going to fire at that green unit, who's already lost 1 model. Rolls 2 hits, so that's going to be 1 going through. He's going to dodge that with Obi-Wan's Guardian and Ceresu Mastery combination. That does put a 3rd suppression on that unit though. pulls his last core unit that doesn't have a face-up order. Oh. He's going to move up into this little forest and join all of his clone brothers. Likely taking a aim token to feed this green unit when they go. Also cohering outward to extend this Overwatch standby range. Thank you, Krugar, for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm going to try and stream as many of these Invader League single elimination games as I can. I will be playing mine tomorrow around the same time. That'll be on Dash's channel. He's going to be streaming that one. That'll be a Rex R2 Padme off. Yeah, I watched so many stream games. My wife told me I might as well do it as well. So here I am. And I think Luke Cook is streaming Doc's brother's game right about now. If you guys want to hop between channels and check out how both games are going, or if you want to save one for later. I don't know his channel name off the top of my head, but I'm sure he's posting it in the Discord, or if somebody in chat knows, they can throw that out there. I wonder if he got busy, or if he couldn't figure out how to stream. Oh well. So that looks like that's a pretty good rally roll, because now this unit is going to be able to take advantage of their offensive push and take that clankers, since they were the second unit with a face-up order. Only question is, who do you shoot at? Because he's got 1, 2, and then with offensive push, he'll have 3 aim tokens to use. Thanks for the follow, Combo. I appreciate it. So I'm playing again tomorrow, and then if I'm not busy Thursday night, I'm going to be streaming Karma 5-5's game. And then if there's any unclaimed streams on Friday, I'll probably do those. And then I have a game Saturday night / Sunday morning. It's Florf the Dwarf versus Paper Towel. And that's going to be the evening time for me. I'm in the Hawaii time zone, but it's going to be like the middle of the night if you're Eastern Standard. But if you're not going to watch it live, it'll be on my past broadcasts, and you can always go check it out. It's just good for the community if we video all these games for newer players to go back and watch. I know a few months ago when I was pretty new to the game, that's all I did is watch old Twitch streams to figure out how the game worked and which units were good and which ones were played. Alright, so we gotta take that Clanker's shot. It looks like he's shooting at this. I'm not quite sure he's shooting at anymore. I feel like the way you cohered, you might be trying to eliminate this B1 unit. This is still the first turn, Ringmaster. Okay, he's going to shoot at those BX droids in what's likely heavy cover. It's a pretty good roll. 2 crits, 2 hits, 2 surges. He's got 2 surges to spend. So he's going to spend an aim token. He's got 3. Rerolling a black and a white into some blanks. Never feels good. Picks up another hit on a white die. Then I'm sure he spends his 3rd aim since this is his last attack for the turn. And picks up a 4th hit. He'll spend the surge to have Les roll 5 dice for this BX unit. If this goes sour, this could be a dead BX unit. Nope, that's just going to be 1 model. So, could have been a lot worse for Les. There we go. Alright. Les draws the battle tank. He's got range. Not sure if he's aim shooting or if he's choosing to shoot move or if he's going to use barrage, but we'll see. Looks like he's going to attack these blue phase 2s. Thank you, Pandarkon, for the follow. pretty sure you draw a line of sight from the base of this gun. So I think that would be a light cover shot. I wonder what they're talking about. Probably on where you draw a line of sight from. And if, yeah, it looks like they're talking about if he has heavy cover. Thanks, Ringmaster. So yeah, it looks like he might be going for a barrage. And that's a pretty nice roll. 4 hits. So those red dice deciding they want to perform. He's going to spend a dodge off of one of his clone units, it looks like. Or not. So saves 2 units. Looks like he's going to... Oh, yep, that's right. It's high velocity. Thanks, Ringmaster. Then he's going to take his second barrage shot at this unit of Phase 2s who pushed up. I'm sure that's going to be heavy cover from that barricade. 4 more dice, and that's just going to be a suppression. That definitely could have gone worse for Doc. And everyone's favorite droid is going to likely double move. The tank is not naked, it has high energy shells. I think he probably thought the 2 extra red dice was better than an aim shoot for what he wanted to do that round. Now the question is, what is next turn going to look like? I feel like we might see a General Kenobi from Doc to get a load of surge tokens and weather all the attacks that's most likely going to come. And I would figure possibly assault on Les's side. So we got these B1s moving up, and they're going to get to shoot. It looks like a pretty poor coherence. I don't think one of those droids is going to get a shot. I think this back droid doesn't have line of sight. Oh, never mind. I'm pretty sure you can see him. Checking standby range. It's definitely got it from this purple unit. choosing... Is he choosing to move with that standby? Yes, so he is spending Rex's standby to move. It looks like he's moving up onto... I guess not. I feel like I would have put him on that supply token. So the B1s are continuing with their shot after that standby move. I wonder what they're calling for cover. Possibly heavy, depending on where they're looking. That's just going to be one hit, which will go away to do 2 cover. These guys are in the second bracket. This is match number 9, I believe. Doc was the number 1 seed in his bracket. So I believe Doc had a 5-0 record and Les had a 3-2 record. These B1s look like they're moving, so that way they can preserve their activation and keep this coordinate chain to reach the BX snipers that are behind this rock. It's unfortunate for Les. I feel like he's forgetting that they're playing supply drop, because he's had, I'm pretty sure, 3 different instances to claim a supply drop, but has chosen not to or has forgotten. So these B1s are taking a shot at these green phase 2s, rolls a crit, and that's going to get blocked. So those green phase 2s are going to start the next round with 2 suppression tokens. So that is going to be the end of round 1. Doc lost 2 phase 2s, not terrible, and OntoTheTable took 3 wounds on his Dooku and lost 3 B1 battle droids and 1 BX droid off of his full unit. And they're pulling out their command cards for turn 2. Looks like we got General Kenobi versus You Disappoint Me. And Les will win that due to Dooku's cunning keyword. Looks like Obi-Wan's gonna be getting 4 surge tokens, or 5. Wonder if they counted this phase 2 unit as being in range 1. Oh, yep, you see a little bit of that base poking in. So that's 5 surges for Obi-Wan. And then giving an order to Rex, who will also get 5 surges. And this phase 2 unit will get 6 because he has reliable. That's a lot of surges on the clone side. And then we have an order chain for all the B1s, and 2 BX units are going to get coordinated. So just 1 special force and a heavy in the separatist stack. And this is going to be a scoring round for intercept. So we'll probably see most of these B1s taking moves up to this bridge. And the clones will have to try and push them back. Unless he's going to play the long game and score on the later turns. After 1 turn, we are almost an hour into this game, so there's only 2 hours and 11 minutes left. Okay, so Les has remembered supply drop this round with this BX unit. Choice between precision scopes and hollow projector. I think you take scopes to get use off of that lethal keyword. Yep, so he is taking the scopes. He's going to take a shot at these blue phase 2s. Looks like he can only see the unit leader, so that'll push that unit leader back if he can get the kill. Which could be a good play, putting him farther away from the middle objective. Not with that roll. So he did use scopes to get an aim token. Rolls into a crit, so that's going to go through. And with all the surges, that's blocked no problem. And for his second action, he is going to take a dodge. Looks like he is contemplating a move with Dooku to use his Force Lightning and push one of these units into an awkward spot. With 3 wounds on Dooku, I'm not sure I like moving with Dooku this early. But that was just some pre-measure shenanigans. Just moving back with these phase 2s, likely because he's suppressed. Draws the tank onto the table's side. That is inside of Guardian range. Is choosing to use the high energy shells on this shot. And that's going to be, after critical, 3 crits, 4 hits, down to 2 hits from heavy cover. So Obi-Wan could potentially Guardian 2 of those away. See what he chooses to do. So yep, he is Guardianing 2 of those with Obi. He's going to take 1 wound on Obi-Wan. And then he will save the 3 crits on the phase 2 unit. And he saves all 3. That is an awesome roll for Doc. Those red saves coming in clutch on Doc's side. And Les choosing to move forward with his second action. Trying to be careful to not displace his own unit. like Doc is really thinking about who he wants to activate. He's got Rex and Obi-Wan with face-up orders. Going to the stack and pulling a core unit. I feel like you go with green. It's got 3 suppression. You don't want him to take so much suppression that you can't do anything with him when you go to activate him. Taking a move action with the purple Overwatch unit. Maybe trying to get base contact with this supply and the cargo container. Trying to maintain his units in that light cover from the forest. Looks like he's checking line of sight to see where the best shot on these B1s could be. So he's just taking a move action, and he's going to shoot these B2 or B1 units. Curious to see if they call that heavy cover from the bridge. Rolls 5 hits. I guess we'll see what cover is after he rolls defense. And they did call heavy, nope, light cover. And that's going to be 4 models down, or 3 if he spends his surge, which he most likely will. And for everyone who has joined the stream within the last turn, we are on turn 2 of the first game of the top 64 for the Invader League single eliminations. So the loser of this game is going to be knocked out of the bracket, and the winner will continue on to the top 32. These BX droids are going to activate. They're checking their range. Using their awesome scale keyword, He's going to drop down off this cargo container before he does his move. Seeing the maximum use of scale on this move, being able to scale down the wall and also have an unhindered move onto this difficult sand mound. And they're going to be taking a shot at this green phase 2 unit. That is an amazing roll. 3 crits. Curious to see if they spend the surge token to push a hit through. That's gotta be heavy cover. Oh. I always forget BXs, I'm pretty sure surge on offense. Yes, they do. So that should be 4 hits coming through with sharpshooter. So Obi-Wan will Guardian that single hit away. That's going to put a second wound on Obi-Wan. So he's taken 2 wounds this round from his Guardian. And they'll defend the 3 crits that come through. With the mass amount of surge tokens, he will easily spend 1, taking 1 wound. So that'll be the second model off of that unit gone. And the, I believe, 4th suppression. Yes, so that's 4 suppression on that green unit. They will likely not be getting 2 actions when they activate. I'm not a judge, so I'm not going to intervene, but he has 4 suppression, not 2. And I think they figured that out. Okay. So he will roll 2 more. and he keeps all force suppression. Choosing to take a move action. Going to try and pick up a victory point, since this is the second turn. And he'll cohere the rest of his units to get heavy cover. Onto the table is drawing his second BX sniper unit from the stack. You'll be forced to either move or dodge with AI. Looks like he's choosing to take a move action. He's going to try and get line of sight on somebody to shoot at. Yeah, that original cohering Krugar would make it pretty easy, especially with this B1 unit, even still, to have shot that green leader, which would have forced him to replace one of these models with his leader, removing him from this objective. So he's going to move with this BX and pick up a supply. He has grappling harpoon and hollow projector. He already has scale, so that choice is pretty easy. Doc going with this arc unit, going to the supply. Picks up 2 field scanners, so that's again an easy choice. This arc unit now has a back to capsule and a field scanner, effectively adding 2 health to that unit. Going to move these ARC troopers to ensure that he controls this objective. Does not want to be complacent and completely miss his home objective. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he has any good shots from that spot. May have to do a full move. Dooku is still pretty well hidden from his current position. may be trying to shoot at this BX unit. And he can make range. Definitely think he should have cohered him a little further this way so he doesn't get sniped back. So he is going for the BX squad. That'll likely be heavy cover down to light with sharpshooter 1. He does have a dodge, so unless he rolls a critical, this will do nothing. Two hits. I think you're going to want to reroll both for a crit. Otherwise, that's just going to get dodged away. He is spending the aim to reroll both. Does roll a surge. Critical 1 is going to give him that crit. It's going to force OntoTheTable to roll a save. May lose a BX unit. And he saves it, so just a suppression. Hopefully he remembers to pick up that aim token. That is important with clones being able to share tokens. You want to make sure you pick up all your tokens that you spent. Going with this B1 unit, it's going to go to the supply. It'd be really awesome if you pulled some back to, and he doesn't. Pulls a hollow projector. It's a really good supply for B1s with their coordinate. We're about halfway through the second round, and we're almost halfway through the clock. So these B1s took a shot, just putting another suppression on that phase 2 unit. Based on how it's written, Krugar, I would agree with you that you don't necessarily have to reveal the card that you don't take to your opponent, but I'm not necessarily sure it matters. Because if you know all the cards that were taken, you should still know what's in the deck. I guess if anything, they would just know if you're a more offensive or defensive player based on which cards you chose. Like if you had to choose between precision scopes and field scanner. But I don't necessarily think there's much advantage in keeping your supply cards hidden or not. Marksman is a great keyword to add to these arc snipers. And rolls 2 hits on this B1 unit. That's going to knock one of them out due to Pierce and Sharpshooter 1. Thanks for the follow, Prairie Pirates. Yes, this is the first, at least streamed game for the Invader League single elimination. We're currently in round 2 with a Separatist Dooku tank list against a Rex Obi-Wan R2 squad. Dooku took an unfortunate 3 wounds in the very first action of the first round with Take That Clankers. But other than that, we've had a couple of B1s go down, and looks like 3 clones are dead. Obi-Wan's taken 2 wounds with Guardian, but other than that, we're in the second round, so should see some action coming towards this center objective. I also bet on Velo. With it being the first round of elims, I think it should be relatively easy on paper for the 5-0 player to eliminate the 3-2 player. But this match is definitely well in the air. This phase 2 unit proving to be quite resilient, having 6 suppression and only taken 2 wounds. Yeah, should be heavy, but I mean, he saved it anyway. Doc is pulling R2 from his stack. Looks like he may be considering sending R2. I don't think R2 can make it to contest this middle point. Looks like Les has disconnected from the game. So there will be a little delay while he tries to reconnect. Thank you, Prairie. Appreciate it. So we have paused the game clock while Les attempts to reconnect. And he's back. Now this full health AAT still has a lot to say in the next few rounds to come. I don't think this AAT is going to die this game. And he has the perfect shot to provide a lot of cover on this center objective. Got a B1 unit trying to snipe that leader away from the center objective. And he is going to roll double blanks twice. Which is quite unfortunate. That would have been a really good play for Les. Yeah, I agree with you, Bees. I did not include supply drop in my battle deck. It was between that. I think I actually chose. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I chose Minefield over supply drop because I just like backed a field scanner. All those things are so bad when your opponent draws them. I'd rather just not deal with it. For a not super competitive game, I do think it is a very fun condition. So this red Overwatch squad has moved up, checking ranges to see who he wants to shoot. Prairie, I actually don't necessarily like hostile environment for my clones because I find myself moving out like this unit right here, like moving out to get a good shot, and then you're just not touching some terrain. And if your opponent takes advantage of it, then you could easily be very suppressed with that unit. I do agree, Fortified and War Weary are awesome on phase 2s. Checking what the cover situation's like before he spends any surge tokens. He has plenty since he played General Kenobi this round. Looks like he's choosing not to spend any. Or he did. He spent 2, I guess. Yeah, so I guess he spent 2 surge tokens, which would put 1 through light cover. I mean, if he moved with intent, then he could still be touching the grassland, but visually he is not. The worst thing about Phase 2 clones is that I don't know what to do with the 4 units of Phase 1s that I painted. Oh yeah, hostile environment makes R2 untouchable. Just soak up one shot and then you're inconspicuous for the rest of the game. At that point, you'd probably consider playing Blast Off on turn 1 if you had it. I painted a handful of Imperial Assault a few years ago, but other than that, Legion's the only game I've been painting, and I only have the prequel factions. So a lot of browns and a lot of whites. Got this B1 unit moving up, taking a shot. Unfortunately, there's no standbys for Doc to spend, and he blanks out. Rex being a bit aggressive. Looks like he's moving out to try and take a shot. He's unfortunately not going to get to use Gunslinger in this position. It's probably not time to shoot with Rex if you can't use Gunslinger. So he's just going to move up and grab something from the supply. And likely takes low profile. I don't think he'll be in range of R2 for much longer to get any use out of Arc Welder. Yeah, you could potentially wipe this B1 unit. I don't know if taking out 2 B1s is worth putting Rex out in the open to get annihilated next round, especially when Dooku hasn't even activated yet. Oh yeah, I always forget Rex has Sharpshooter 1, and I play him all the time. Yeah, I think the main reason you don't put him out there is because of Dooku. They're having a conversation about looks like how many supply drops he's had, because he has 1, 2, 3, 4. I still think he's good because he depleted this one, took 1 from here, and then took 1 from this one. Looks like these B1s are just gonna keep the home objective while also maintaining the coordinate chain alive. On Doc's side of the board, all he has left to activate is Obi-Wan. Debating on a target for his shot. He is in standby range of this red unit. I feel like you shoot this weakened squad if you're going to spend that standby. Spends Rex's standby for 2 hits and a surge. Gonna spend Rex's aim token for 1 more surge result. So that's gonna be 5. That should be an open shot with no cover. Or light cover. Oh no, he must have spent the dodge. That's a pretty bad roll. That's 4 models off that unit. That surge is on the BX unit, not that B1 unit. So right now, this is still in turn 2. So VPs are going to be 1-1 unless Dooku moves in. He played you disappoint me this turn, so he could force lightning this green unit, pushing them off of the center objective. He spent a dodge token. He did have a dodge, I believe, from you disappoint me. Unless he did not. Either way, I'm not a judge, so I'm not going to be intervening in this game for rules clarifications or to maintain game state. There is a chance that they called this sand mound light cover for shooting through it. So we got a move from Dooku. That unfortunately will not allow him to push this phase 2 unit off of the objective. But he can lightning one of these other phase 2s. It looks like he could hit this red unit in no cover. Which 5 black surge to crit. And I believe Dooku's lightning has pierce. This could hurt very badly. And it looks like they're going to get the hit guardianed off with Obi. And after pierce, they're going to lose 1 unit. And that does have scatter, so if he did want to recohere that unit, he could. And he also has you disappoint me, so he can do a speed 2 move with them. Which I could definitely see him just pushing that unit out of the fight for a turn. Thank you for the follow, Habmo. Now, this move will allow Doc to score on this center objective because he will now have more unit leaders. He is in choke range, except Dooku is not running choke. Dooku has battle meditation, aggressive tactics, and reflexes. So choosing not to run choke or force push is a bit interesting. However, he's now in this river, which is difficult terrain, which reduces this unit's speed. I think Prairie he's taking battle meditation because he chose not to take any HQ uplinks in his list, which is interesting. I don't know if it's optimal. So it looks like the players are going to take a quick pause, possibly for a bathroom break. And I am going to join them. So I'll be right back in a few. Thanks everybody for waiting. Looks like the players are still on a little break. So this was the end of round 2. We have 2 points on Doc's side. Looks like they didn't pull out a victory token, but there should be one on OntoTheTable's side. Unless he's keeping his victory tokens right here. So the score is currently 2-1 after the second round, with Doc in the lead by 1 point. And if you have not followed me already, I will be streaming at least 2 more games this week, but I will try and do as many as I can since I have this week off, and this is the first week of Invader League single eliminations. There will be more games than there will in the future. So we have Fear, Surprise, and Intimidation from OntoTheTable, and Knowledge and Defense from Doc. So we'll see a lot of dodge tokens. And we'll probably see a first move with Dooku, since he is pretty exposed in his current spot. Yeah, floor Friday? Did you move it to Friday? I thought it was on Saturday. So we're going to see a hollow projector coming in clutch to allow him to maintain orders on his B1 battle droids. Okay. Yeah, I will probably still be doing your game, Florf. Because that's only 7 o'clock in the evening for me. Yeah, I'm Hawaii time zone, so that's not terrible for me. That's around the time I usually play my Legion games if I'm playing on TTS. Bees, are you playing against Karma, if I remember correctly? Yeah. I'm gonna try and stream your game, Bees. Karma was in my bracket for round robin. So if nobody picks up your guys' game, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be streaming it. Yeah, Karma was my one loss in round robin. He has a pretty good list, so a lot of range 4. That's all. That's what I'll say. He definitely outranged me when we played. Yeah, I think he's got the laser cannons on 3 ATRTs and then DLT 20s on all of his troopers. And then either 2 or 3 snipers and then Leia with her bombardment. So I don't think he's playing anything to fight at range 3. Yeah, Karma's a good player. And Pierce is pretty good against red saves. So we did see Dooku move up and swing 5 hits into this clone trooper unit. Looks like he's choosing to use all of his Pierce value and eliminate the entire squad. And he's still got his lightning shot. Is going to go against this green unit. Whether it kills them or not, he's going to be able to scatter these guys out of cover to set up a better shot. That's going to be 2 after cover. With Pierce 1, that's going to be 2 dead models. So that was a pretty good turn from Dooku. And he used reflexes to get a dodge token, and I think he took a dodge action. Yeah, so he took a dodge and a free dodge token with reflexes to hopefully weather this storm, having half his health already gone. Well, Dooku definitely could take a beating, but he did effectively take out 2 units of phase 2s, which means he only has 2 to answer. Trying not to panic, takes off 5 suppression out of 8, which is really good. Still suppressed, but he's not going to panic. So Prairie, I think that if you play clones, you go the full 800. I think clones don't mind whether they're a blue or red player. Granted, I'm still relatively new to the game, so I am not skilled enough to take advantage of being blue player, so I'm just trying to get good playing red player. So Doc is just gonna run away with that green unit leader, try and preserve an activation and a source of green tokens for the rest of his unit. Krugar is correct. As Qui-Gon Jinn said, there's always a bigger fish. And there's probably always a bigger bid. Onto the Table is going to pull this weakened B1 unit. He will attempt to rally, and he does. He's going to take a pot shot and whiff out, attempting to take out that green unit leader. And he's going to fall back to preserve his activation. That is a vacuum in the background. I will turn down my mic. My wife is currently vacuuming. This back ARC Trooper unit moving up. Probably trying to nab a shot on Dooku if they can. Nope, they're going for this weakened B1 unit. They got one hit. It's likely going to be light cover after sharpshooter. Spending the aim to reroll. And that is going to be just a suppression token. I feel like in that situation you reroll both dice. I turned my mic back up. Dark Acer, she is done vacuuming. Got a B1 squad going to the supply. Or was that? Nope. That's his BX squad. And they pulled an arc welder, which is good. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you can restore a commando droid on this full unit with that. This BX unit is going to scale up, and they're going to try and put some wounds on R2-D2. See 2 red dice go into light cover, 1 crit. That should go through on a white defense roll. And it doesn't. R2 bounces that right off of his little round body. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the healing rules right now, so I wasn't sure if he could bring back a unit in this full group since they died in the last round. Doc's second arc unit moving up, getting a tactical aim. Is getting a bit aggressive with this arc unit, putting him in range of getting shot by not only a B1 squad but a BX squad. Okay, so Krugar says, yeah, you can only bring back a unit from a like a multi-model group if they died that turn, so he's not going to get to res a unit in this purple squad. He is going for Dooku. He's got 2 dodges, so he needs crits if he wants to do any damage. And it looks like Dooku's going to have heavy cover, which will get Sharpshooter down to light. 2 hits, not going to do it. He has immune pierce, so you might as well spend that aim for a reroll. Clones do share, but I think this arc unit is a bit out of range for anyone else to utilize that aim token. And Dooku is going to just spend the dodge to block that, taking a suppression. And the second arc looked like he split fired to try and do something to that B1 unit. And he spent the aim on that shot. What's time look like? There is just over 1 hour remaining, and we are in the third round. Score is currently 2-1. Republic is in a slight lead. These B1s taking an AI shot at R2D2. They roll nothing. And they'll take a move action. I would be interested to see if onto the table with this orange BX unit would set themselves up to contest or even control Doc's home objective on turn 4. R2D2 already had a suppression. He was forced to shoot at him because of AI. Spunky little droid is gonna take a move, doing his darndest to score that secret mission. This is... I don't like this, because now he's in range of 3 B1 squads and a full BX unit. He is not running Blast Off, unfortunately. He's got Hello There and Call Me Captain as his 1-pips. Onto the table, drawing the battle tank. He's gonna shoot at this purple phase 2 squad using Barrage, since he used the high energy shells last turn. Rolls 4 hits. This is a high velocity shot, so he will not be able to spend Obi-Wan's dodge on this attack. But I think that they did not catch that. I think they're having a debate on high velocity being used for Guardian. And you cannot use a dodge if you Guardian a high velocity shot. Not quite sure how this attack played out. Whether I think they went with spending the dodge, even though Obi-Wan technically couldn't. So that's another 3 hits. It's going to be 1 past cover, and he's going to spend another dodge. I'm not a judge, so I'm not going to like tell them to play that back. But just in case anyone's curious, you can't spend dodges with Suresu Mastery if the shot was high velocity. So Prairie, it looks like they, even though the shot was high velocity, they were still using dodge tokens with Obi-Wan's Suresu Mastery Guardian play. And so Obi-Wan just Guardianed everything and dodged it all. And then he's going to recover higher energy shells with the cycle keyword. Rex is going to kill that supply, gaining marksman. He's going to perform a move, which will net him an aim token. So marksman could be really good here, with Rex being able to hopefully navigate that dodge token. I guess we'll see how they call cover. So right now it's 2 hits, 1 crit. I pinged it just to like let them know where the rule was, but I'm not going to like stop their game. Electing to not spend a dodge, taking 1 wound on Count Dooku. That was pretty risky with 3 hits coming in. And Rex shooting this B1 unit, rolling 2 hits and 1 crit. That'll be heavy cover down to light, rolling 2 saves, and he makes both of those. That was a pretty good white roll. Bees, there is just under 1 hour left, currently in the 53rd remaining minute. And the victory points right now are 2-1. Republic has 2, Seps have 1. And this is round 3. Onto the tables, going with his orange BXs. He pulls a Bacta and a Camouflage. I'm not sure they'll get to use Bacta, so I think you just take Camouflage. Yeah, he's taking Camouflage. I would like to see him scale up and take a shot at these ARC troopers. I think it would be a really good play to watch Onto the Table come and try and steal this home objective from Doc. Back to on Dooku is dope. I think that this BX unit is a bit out of position to go and heal Dooku though. And we are seeing that scale onto this rock formation. They could definitely nab these arcs out of cover. It'll be a 2 red, 2 white shot. Rolls 2 hits. They are definitely out of range for Obi-Wan's Guardian. So these arcs are on their own. I even think they're out of range for any surges. I don't know why he only rolled 1 die. They might have called that light cover and he expended his, oh, he had field scanner. Okay, that's why. Unfortunate that this arc unit could not have not gone yet to use their Bacta. Yeah, I probably would have cohered that arc behind this cargo container. Yeah, Ringmaster, it was the field scanner that saved that arc unit. Going with the purple phase 2s, rallies 1 suppression off, so he'll get 2 actions. He may see the threat that this BX unit poses and nope, not going for them. Dooku has only 2 wounds left. I feel like you gotta put everything you have into Dooku. You can only roll so much paint on red saves before they fail. So he's making a speed 2 move, get behind some heavy cover. And we'll see who he goes to shoot. He's gonna reach for that full BX unit. Players are probably having a discussion on what cover is. Pretty good roll, 3 hits. They must have called light cover since you spent a surge to push that up to 2 hits. Thanks, Degree, for the follow. Glad to see you're here. or they called it no cover, and that is going to be, so spends a 1 surge. That's going to be just the unit leader left. That was a really good shot for onto the table to make. That was a really good roll for Doc. Pretty bad for less. It is onto the table's turn. He's going to kill that supply. He did pull an arc welder, so he could get his sniper back on that BX unit if he wants. However, they might choose to reshuffle because they didn't put that back to back. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And he gets scale. Oh man, that arc welder would have been nice. They are electing to take an aim token, and they're going to shoot at this purple phase 2 unit in heavy cover. 1 crit, 3 hits. Not bad. Gonna spend the aim to reroll. And that'll be 2 past cover. Which he saves, so just a suppression. Doc pulling his last core unit from the stack. It is this blue phase 2 unit. He's going to rally. They keep their 1 suppression token, which is fine. They're courage 2. And it feels like Doc has been a little starved for green tokens this round. Phase 2s are going to move up. Yeah, I'd agree. They don't have enough aim tokens to satisfy their hunger. They're pretty hungry. And he's gonna throw some dice at Dooku. That will be light cover from suppression, and he has a dodge token. That'll be currently 2 going through, doing his search for some surge tokens. Finds one hidden in the jungle. He'll spend it to push 3 hits through. Dooku will likely spend his dodge token. Activating deflect. That'll give him surge to defend. Oh no. Deflects 2 bolts back at those phase 2s. That was spicy. Yeah, Prairie, this was Obi's 2-pip. So Rex wasn't in position to really use Call Me Captain this turn. He was back here behind this cargo container. Oh, never mind. 3-pip. Yeah. So I agree. I think Rex's 3-pip would have been better. I do think that next turn is definitely Call Me Captain or Bust. Dooku already used his 1-pip. He does still have Ambush. So he won't get the automatic Cunning winning priority. I think if you're Dooku, you play the 2-pip and try and throw Rex's token back in the pool so he can't use fire support. I mean, R2 maybe could move and allow Rex to fire support. It's probably not the most ideal move. But yeah, nothing's worse playing Republic than setting up an amazing fire support shot and then you draw R2D2. So, a unit of B1's just moving up into cover and taking a standby. They're expecting something out of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan contemplating if he wants to join the fight just yet. So I think Obi jumps in and you play Call Me Captain, since you can fire support into melee. So you could have Obi-Wan kill Dooku with Rex's help, and then you could just force push somebody into melee with you. But I also think Hello There would get its most optimum value if Obi-Wan moves up and has all these units in range. Dooku is currently on 4 wounds. He took 3 in the first round, and he took 1 more this round. And there's only 37 more minutes with at least 2 more activations to go on the Separatist side. I think turn 4 is going to end up being the final round. So Obi-Wan is triggering the standby on these yellow B2s, or B1s. I don't think you shoot Kenobi. You'll only get 1 model with line of sight. Potentially 2. I think you shoot at a phase 2 unit. Yep, so he's going to take a shot. Looks like it's going to be heavy cover with the suppression. He's rolling 2 feud dice. But, oh well. Spends a surge to put a suppression on him. Obi-Wan force pushing Count Dooku closer to him, allowing him to set up a charge. Yeah, okay, I see it. That kneeling guy couldn't see the clones. So Obi-Wan only getting 2 hits into Dooku. Dooku does have a surge token, and he blocks all of it. So with that force push, I think he does play Hello There this next round, since I don't think Rex is going to have line of sight on Dooku. The surviving BX droid is going to double move, and I'm pretty sure he gets charge from the Vibro Sword. He does, so he will get to swing his sword at Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan does have a dodge token. And yeah, Obi-Wan is likely going to dodge that one off. And the last activation for the round is going to be these green B1 battle droids. They're going to aim, take a shot at this weakened Phase 2 unit. Trying to see if that B1 has line of sight. Looks like not. Gonna roll one hit, spend the aim, and he gets a crit, so that's gonna go through. This could be a dead Z6, but no, just a suppression. So I believe that's it for turn 3. So we'll likely see a double the fall versus hello there. Yep, double the fall and hello there. Obi-Wan will get access to, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens. Looks like he's going for 2 aims, 2 dodges, and a standby. Yep, those were Obi's wound tokens. Yeah, the only problem with Obi getting his token put away is that if Dooku goes before Obi, then he could potentially force push. Oh wait, no, never mind. Dooku's not running push. I was gonna say you could force push Obi-Wan and force it off his standby token. So this So this should be the final round with only 27 minutes left. This is likely gonna come down to whether or not the Separatists can control the bridge or not. Which I don't think is impossible with the amount of activations on this side of the board. Yes, Karma, this is round 4. With it also being probably the final round, I believe this will be 3 points per objective. I don't think this looks very good for Doc. These BX droids could very easily contest the home objective for the Republic, which would allow the Separatists to either tie or outscore the Separatists. So Ark's shooting at these B1s. Sharpshooter down to light cover, rolled 2 hits, spent the aim for Pierce, putting him down to just a unit leader. And onto the table picks up Dooku, which he'll have to be very careful with which action he chooses, with Obi having a standby token and 2 aims. Dooku only has 2 health left. Also, Suresu Mastery does do damage back on surge results even in melee. So he is going to just swing at Obi-Wan. I think he used Force Lightning. Oh, no, you can't use Dooku's Lightning in melee. That's just Palpatine. Rolls 4 hits and a surge, which will go to a crit. I'm sure with a Nimble, he's at least spending 1 dodge token. And I'm pretty sure he forgot that he has Nimble. Oh no, he spent 2 and got 1 back. So does 1 wound back and takes 1. I'm sure he's gonna use Makashi to pierce 1. Yeah, so just pointing out that Suresu does do a damage during melee. So that'll be 2 wounds on Obi-Wan, 1 wound on Dooku. That does allow Obi-Wan to trigger his standby. This could be a dead Dooku. He does have 2 aim tokens. Rolls 3 and a surge, spending an aim. Rolls nothing, spends his second aim, makes that 5 going through. Dooku does only have a surge from his aggressive tactics. He's got to roll all paint. That's death for Dooku. That is going to put the Republic in the lead on both victory points and kill points. Pulls R2-D2, and he is going to have to double move to gain secret mission. So that is another victory point for the Republic. He does have to be wholly within to score. Okay. So that's currently 3-1. Republic's game to lose. Separatists pull a core unit. Does not rally. So that will be a panicking B1. That is pretty big, because that means that's one less unit on that middle activation. Pulls Captain Rex from the stack. Going to move up, gaining an aim token. is going to attack a unit, whether it be this yellow or gray unit. We'll find out. Looks like shooting at the yellow unit first. Spends the surge, is only going to lose one model. And then shooting the gray unit is going to get 3. Almost saves it, but that's going to be an activation off the board. Onto the table is activating his red BX sniper unit. He's going to perform a move, scaling down the wall. He does have an arc welder, so he could revive this yellow model that just went down. He's going to take a shot at this purple phase 2 unit in heavy cover. That is just going to be, oh, that's one hit. They have sharpshooter 1. And that'll be a model down. Yeah, Zyconia, this is match number 9 in single eliminations top 64. We are in the 4th round. There's only 13 minutes left, so we could see this end up being the last round. Obi-Wan trying to finish off this BX unit, only rolling 2 hits. The BX does have Impervious. I think he forgot he has Impervious. They remembered he has Impervious. Okay, rolling 4. He's got to save all of it. That's not going to do it, so that'll be a dead BX unit. Obi-Wan taking a jump action. Zyconia currently, Republic scored 2 VPs on the second round, and he has a secret mission scored on R2D2. And Separatists scored 1 VP on the second round. So after this round, we'll see more VPs come into play. Currently, Republic is in the lead. So Obi-Wan force pushing this yellow B1 unit, ensuring that the leader is outside of scoring this VP. They have not activated yet though, so he is still able to withdraw into scoring range. There is, karma. Just under 11 minutes left in this round. Got a unit of B1s activating over here. They will have to use AI to attack. I don't think that he has the ability to kill R2D2 with the units that he has left. So he's going to throw these dice into that phase 2 unit. Rolling blanks. Doc pulling one of his core units. Rallying with his green phase 2 unit leader. Is able to get 2 actions this round. So he doesn't want... So he could have moved him into melee, but I don't think that his Obi-Wan is necessarily trying to not get shot. He does only have, I think, 4 wounds, and he has 2 dodge tokens. I think he's trying to gum this up to prevent people from scoring. So this green unit leader moved up into scoring range and taking a standby. Onto the table, pulling this sneakily deployed BX sniper unit. So purple has not gone yet. So they are still free to pull their activation and move in. The orange BX is scaling down and performing a move. Taking an attack, it looks like, on this ARC trooper. No cover. That's gonna be 3 hits. Pretty good chance that this ARC unit is going to be wiped out. Ringmaster, there's only a few minutes left. There's just under 7 minutes left in the round. Looks like he could spend one surge, but he can't spend two, it looks like, so that's going to be a dead arc. Unfortunately, that backed capsule is wasted, never used. Action is on dock. Going to have to go to the stack. That order token should not be face up. Probably doing some math in his head. I think this is going to be a good game for on the table. It looks like he's only going to be able to get 2 activations to contest this middle bridge. And right now, Doc has potential to put 5 units in scoring, which would mean 6 points for Republic and only 3 scored this turn for Separatists. Yeah, I agree. If this turn is over before this clock ends, then this game just got a lot better. There's one. We could see it, depending on pace of play. Rex is in a great spot to use Call Me Captain if they go into a 5th round, though. Be like Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan on that bridge. I disagree with this shot. I think they should try and move to contest. Or if they're going to shoot anybody, shoot this green unit leader. Yeah, that would have been a dead unit leader who has a standby. There's a chance he got confused on who had to stand by. But now these guys are going to get to shoot. If they wiped out green, then he would not be able to score on this back home objective. Seps would be hard pressed to win if he can take out this green unit. Don't know why he's shooting with this one black die. He might have just selected the wrong unit. Spends 2 surge tokens. That was a really good shot. Now Separatists are not scoring anything without this B1 unit using its move action to go backwards, which would completely give up this center objective. And there's not going to be a round 5. There's only 40 seconds left. Yep. I think that's going to do it for this game. Only got the AAT and this yellow unit left. Yeah, I agree, Karma. I think that OntoTheTable didn't necessarily put his shots in the right targets. Like that last shot that he took with that white unit, if he would have put it in that green unit leader, he would have killed the unit leader, and that would have taken off his standby, so he would have never lost his green unit. It's a bit disheartening to see all those red saves. uh, Degree, last time we played, you killed most of my entire army, so I don't always roll super hot on defense dice. And that's gonna be the game. Republic has won the first round of top 64 single elimination. Thanks everybody for watching. Get used to saying what, Zyconia? Oh, Republic win. Well, I'm going to sign off. Please consider following if you haven't, and I'll be streaming again in a couple days. So, have fun, and see you guys.